Hello everyone, it is Brianna here from Made Well, coaching practice designed to empower others to be healthy and thrive in all areas of their life. I am a holistic health and success coach, really taking individuals from a place of feeling very discouraged and disempowered in their physical health and in their whole health and lives to being empowered, victorious, and free, right? And so I do that in multiple different ways, but one of the ways I do that is through helping people find a way of eating that works for them and understanding why we should eat certain foods, right? So I switched up my scenery a little bit. I am not in my normal place of work, at my mom's. It's the last day of holiday for my sister and my nephews. I was like, let me come over here and work so I can still be around them and everything. And I was like, outside is beautiful. I want a porch, right? But that's not what I'm here to talk about, so sorry about this. I'm going to share this in my group quickly, and then we're going to be good to go. But yeah, so I wanted to just, as I was thinking more about the Whole 30 program that I have coming up, I started to think about why should we actually care about what we eat? Because I think most of us care about what we eat because of we're told that we need to eat certain foods to be healthy, even though we don't really know what that is, or to lose weight or exercise and all those sort of things, right? Hi, whoever joined, feel free to say hello. I started to think about what is it we actually want in life, because what people want, why we eat healthy and all those things, is actually we want the reward that it will give us. We want to live a healthy life. We have dreams we want to pursue. We have goals we want to do. We have relationships we want to enjoy, places we want to travel, right? That's actually why we want to be healthy and live a long life, right? So there's an end result. There's actually a core desire and need we have, and eating healthy and taking care of ourselves will help us get there. But really, what's going to really empower you is to understand why you should care about food. Not just for that end result, what actually happens when you eat certain foods and when you don't eat certain foods. And this is 10 simple reasons why I truly believe why we should care. Because there's 10 ways that food impacts us when we eat it. Very basic. I'm not going to go into too much detail on each, but I'm going to just tell you and share this with you. Sorry if it's windy too as well. First one, food actually regulates our mood and our emotions. It doesn't regulate it, but it does impact it. So the majority of even one, we're just going to talk about one kind of thing that happens in our body, serotonin, which is hormone that helps kind of regulate happiness and sadness and joy. Actually, did you know most of that is made in our gut? So there have been people who've changed their diet, changed their food, and no longer feel depressed. No longer feel extremely sad, no longer feel up and down in their emotions. And that happens, right? I'm not saying that's not going to happen, but if there's a chronic state of that, you need to ask yourself, what am I eating? And so first thing, mood and emotions. Second thing are hormones. And so I'm just going to talk about 4 hormones briefly. First one is insulin. So insulin is a storage hormone. Pretty much whenever you eat any carbohydrate, because all carbohydrates break down into sugar in your body, insulin is released because your body's saying, I can't have all this sugar running around my bloodstream. So insulin then stores that sugar in your in your muscles or your liver. But there's only so much capacity for that. So guess what happens? Well, if it's full, it's going to start storing it as fat. So actually you gain fat when you eat too much carbs, not when you eat too much fat, right? And so if your body's constantly producing insulin because you're constantly eating too much or the wrong kind of carbohydrates, you're going to become insulin resistant. And that often leads to diabetes or some other concerns, right? Hi, whoever joined. Feel free to say hello, jump in, ask some questions, share your thoughts. And then the other hormone is cortisol, and that's actually a stress hormone. And certain foods actually will impact our stress levels, actually. Can cause us to get stressed or to, kind of stimulate stress even more. And if our body's constantly thinking it's stressed, it needs to fight or flight, it's going to be chronically stressed and then chronically inflamed and too much cortisol in your body, right? And those are two of the ones most people know, and the other two people don't know as much. So leptin and ghrelin. Leptin is one that helps you feel full and satisfied, and that's actually produced a lot when you sleep and if you're eating certain foods. Don't sleep as much and you're not eating the right foods, you're not going to feel as full. And then ghrelin is actually linked to, it stimulates hunger, right? And that's produced a lot when you're not sleeping or you're eating certain foods, right? So these, your hormones, which actually is very physiological response. A lot of people think I'm craving or I'm feeling all this because I'm wanting it. Yes, that may be true. You may have created a habit in your mind and in the actuality, but often it's actually a physiological thing going on, right? So mood and your hormones. Third thing, immune system. Our body's first line of defense against anything that should not be in our bodies, that is foreign, that is terrible for us, is our immune system. So inflammation is not always bad. Sometimes we get inflamed and our body does that to protect us. But if we're chronically inflamed, if our immune system is chronically weakened, when there's actually something that is very detrimental to our bodies cannot fight it. And 60-80% of our immune system is made in our gut, what we eat. So therefore, what we eat will impact our health. Okay? And then the fourth thing is energy levels. No one wants to feel tired. I just think no one wants to feel tired. We do get tired because we've been working a lot, or maybe we've missed sleep and all these different things, but your food can literally make you more tired if you're eating the wrong foods and when you're eating them and the wrong combinations, right? So energy levels, we all want to feel good. We all don't want to have to go to sugar or coffee, right? So energy levels is very important. Food also impacts your digestive health. Again, 60-80% of your immune system is in your gut. So your gut health is absolutely important. That's why I also love learning and sharing this stuff, because I had a lot of gut issues, and when I changed my diet, I no longer had gas, no longer had all these gut issues. And when I do, it's because I usually eat something I know that will cause it, right? And so I'm empowered to know. And so if you're struggling with gas, constipation, diarrhea, chronic upset stomachs, if you have autoimmune conditions such as Hashimoto's, celiac, Crohn's, where your gut health is super important, you really, really, really need to start caring about what you're eating. Okay, so those are 5 so far. The next 5 is your weight. This is the main thing we're caring about, right? But actually, your weight is not actually the most important indicator of your health. It is an indicator, but not the most important, right? Actually, your fat levels and your muscle mass is one of the most important things too around your physical body. But we all have a weight that our bodies settle at, and it may fluctuate between that. And I actually have not lost much weight in the last 3 years. I've actually gained weight. And that's partially, yes, I'm doing CrossFit and lifting heavier weights. I'm getting stronger. But I actually think my body's supposed to be a bit heavier. And you see what I'm saying? If I were to stand on the scale and see that creeping up and say, man, I need to go on a diet, I would be in a constant cycle of defeat and getting nowhere. Right? So don't get caught up in your weight, but it is still an important, important factor. Okay, next thing, fat levels. And so we all should have fat in our bodies. Fat is not always bad, but it's the amount of fat and the type of fat. So men by nature typically have less fat than women, and there's many reasons for that. But there's fat called visceral fat that is kind of hangs around your tummy. That fat is typically the fat that is actually detrimental to you. That's where all the hormones get whacked, and that's where it can contribute to a lot of the things we talked about already: insulin resistance, high blood pressure, cholesterol, cardiovascular disease, right? So food does impact our fat levels. 8th thing, fertility. This is huge for both men and women. A lot of women struggle sometimes to get pregnant, and it's not their fault. Not saying that. Sometimes it's just there's so many factors, but what we can do, both the male and the female, because sometimes it's not just the female, right, that is giving the issues, is eat well, because that will impact your hormones again, and then your fertility. The 9th thing, focus and brain capacity. We all want optimal brain capacity. We all want to think clearly, think quickly, be able to store things, our memory and all that sort of stuff. And your brain needs that nourishment because your brain health is actually absolutely the most important thing. Because if your brain is not healthy enough to tell you that there is an impending threat coming to move, or you can't move your arm or any of that, like, that's important. And we all have jobs and stuff where we need to focus. And so eating the right foods will increase or decrease your focus and brain capacity. And then the 10th thing is simply the quality of life. We all want a high quality of life. We all want a life where we can live abundantly, where we can feel secure, where we can enjoy it, and do the very things I talked about in the beginning, have the dreams and all that sort of stuff. But we really, really, really cannot do that if our food isn't changed, right? And so I'll just repeat those 10 things quickly for you. Food will impact your mood and your emotions. It will impact your hormones. It will impact your immune system, your energy levels, your digestive health, your weight, your fat levels, your fertility, your focus, your brain capacity, and your quality of life. And those are just mainly kind of physical and emotional things, a little bit of mental there. And so when I understood this and learned this and experienced it myself, I knew deep within my heart and with a deep, deep, deep conviction that I couldn't keep it to myself. And so even before I became a health coach, before I started studying, I started blogging and just sharing. I remember doing a Whole30 and journaling about it each day, or doing a blog post each day. Still up there too if you want to read. But I don't just do what I do because I'm like a geek for health and wellness. Well, I am. But I do it because it literally can mean life or death for someone. And I don't want to be at the end of my days with regret or God asking me, why didn't you do what I called you to do, right? And so that is why I'm doing the Whole30. And that's why I'm going to keep doing the Whole30 with people and helping them through. So if you know you're ready for a lifelong change starting with your food, this is the time. The fall is the time, right? So September 4th is the beginning of the program. It's preparation week. We're just going to go prepare together as a group, get to know one another. And if you're doing one-on-ones, it's, we'll meet for the first time and help you prepare. And then we kick off with the actual 30 days of Whole30, September 11th. And so there's so many resources there. Like, I'm tweaking it all, and I'm like, man, this is awesome. And I don't think I've ever felt that confident with a program or product because, well, we can go into that. But I just know I'm going to do my best to be there for you and equip you. And obviously, it's both parts. You need to put in some effort, and then vice versa, right? But the early bird price and the spots for each, both the group and the one-on-one portion, is filling up. And there have been a lot of people who said they're interested, and some people paid. So if you want to get in this program, the time is now. Ask me any questions you need to ask me. Personal message me, email me. We can have a chat. The time is now. And it will be $99 US for the group program and $399 for 3 one-on-one 45-minute coaching sessions with me, plus the group US, right? And that's roughly like $350 CI and 80 something, maybe less than that CI, right? So it's a really good deal. And so thanks for whoever joined, and thanks for joining me. And I really just encourage you today, if you know that you need to change your life and that food is the beginning, it's time. It's time. And don't let it scare you. Don't let the fear of like, oh no, what if I mess up? Oh no, what if I don't know, can't do it. I'm feeling deprived. Let me tell you, it's going to be tough. But the reward is greater than this suffering you'll feel. I promise you that, right? Okay, so that's it from me. Have a great, great rest of your day. Let me know if you have any questions. Share this video with others you think may be interested. I'm going to post the link after we're done to the Whole30 page as well, so you can learn a little bit more, but also has the links to sign up as well. And then once you sign up too, there'll be a welcome and preparation packet that you get from now with a bunch of resources so you can start learning a little bit more, so that when we even come to the preparation week, you're kind of ready to prepare, right? So that's it. Bless you. Just so happy. Okay. Have a good one.